So apologies for that one on that. And as Chris said, you know, I've been around this business for an awful long time, and people do question, why am I still here? Why? Because I believe, and that is the honest truth, I believe in what is trying to be achieved here. And I also believe in more in our CEO than the business itself. I trust him that he knows way more than me. And that is exactly why I joined this business in the first place, is because I wanted to be in a business that was simple for everyone to understand, that was versatile, that had products that we could sell. And that's the original draw for me. What I want to talk to you today about is I've had a lot of people asking me, why do we need to go to something brand new? Why can't we just use what we've got and then do something with what we've got? Because it doesn't make any sense to have something brand spanking new when we have already tried or trialed so many products and services. We've got a very good working ecosystem. We've done a lot of advertising, all these things. I've had these questions. So what I want to talk to you guys today about is relaunch. Okay. And the real reasons behind why businesses do on a regular basis relaunch. Now, there's lots and lots of things here. Now, a brand relaunch or a brand new relaunch is a strategic process that reinvents and repositions a company's brand to align with evolving goals, values, offering new and targeted markets. Now, if you think about just that one phrase, right, regardless of whatever else I'm going to say, if you think about those few things right there, having this relaunch in a brand new business makes so much sense. So let's just take those few things right there. Now, how long have we been offline for at the moment? 7 months, 8 months since the beginning of September last year. A lot has happened in that period of time. Technology has moved forward immensely, even longer than that because of the problems we had prior to that. But let's just take it from that paused moment when Ash Mufareh said, that's it, we're going to sort everything out and then we're going to do something different. For us to be successful again, and mark my words, we were successful. We all saw how quickly things happened when we first got going with O Connect and the doors were open. The amount of people that visited, the amount of people that bought caused all sorts of problems. That is success. That can be replicated once again, but it can only be replicated if we have this relaunch of a new business. There's also the other side of that relaunch that we have to put into place, and that is the mistakes that were made with the old model. Now, it wasn't necessarily that the products and the services that we had didn't work, didn't do what they meant, because they did work. So we saw them, we were using them, but we can't move to something else with a revamped version of it. It has to be new. It has to be a relaunch for it to be successful. So you have to incorporate so many different things to be able to do a relaunch. It's not going to happen overnight. And this is where, when companies look at rebranding, they look at why they got to do a relaunch, they have to take into consideration why. So these are the kind of criterias that you want to be able to do. It goes beyond a simple facelift. It involves a thorough reassessment of core brand elements like visual identity, messaging, and customer experiences. Now, I think we'll all agree that we got the brand right with On Passive. I think that was certainly something that was depicted what we were. It was something unique. It was something that we recognized. That is one of the most important things that you need to get absolutely right when you are rebranding, that the logo or insignia or the name even that you have for your new brand is something that is going to be recognizable. What do we mean by that? If you say McDonald's, what do you automatically think? You know, the big M. If you say um, if you say Google, you know what that's going to be. If you see X, you know what that's going to be. You know, all of these big brands, Nike, Adidas, you know, they all have their logos and their names that are very recognizable. Part of rebranding is to have that identity that people will recognize straight away. And also, the message behind that identity is very important. And obviously, the customer experience within it. I think we all agree as well, it is that is one area that I am certain will be way better than it was before. The customer experience and the customer who is in our new business will be looked after a lot better than it was in the old one. So these are part and parcel of why companies rebrand. Obviously, there is, in our circumstances, something went drastically wrong. So it makes sense to put the old away, learn from what went wrong, and go again. I am going to quote people that have had so many disasters in their business field, but are already hugely successful. Elon Musk, right? This guy has had more setbacks and more failures than any other businessman that I ever know. So my question is, why is he the richest man on the planet? The reason is because he pushes boundaries. He does things that people say are impossible. He makes it his goal to make sure that he can do what other people perceive as being impossible. That is why he's become so successful. But it also comes with the adverse part of it as well, of those failures. He had one just last week. He's had multiple, all the rest of it. But when he gets it right, that is where the big money starts happening. And that is why he is the richest man on the planet, because he's got it right after so many attempts, because it's so brand new, so revolutionary, so far ahead of anybody else. Nobody else can do it. So they go to Elon to have those facilities. Look what he's done with Starlink. Look what he's done with the heavy lift rockets. Look what he's done with Tesla. Look what he did with PayPal. All of these sort of things point to a successful businessman. It doesn't matter the failings that he's done within the business to get it to where it is. The most important part of it is to make sure that it is successful. He's rebranded himself. He bought Twitter. He ran Twitter for a while and then he rebranded it, didn't he? What's it called now? X. Very similar to what Twitter was, but it's still a rebranding. It's a relaunch of that product of what it was. With ourselves and on passive, we are moving forward to something that is going to be a relaunch. We are going to incorporate brand new things within it, things that we haven't seen. But one thing we need to understand is it's going to be way better than it was before. Part of this is strategic planning. A relaunch requires a well-defined plan that addresses the why behind the changes and how they align with the company's objectives. Let's just think a little bit about just that one now. The relaunch with the strategic bit coming in, why are we doing that? Well, we're doing it because we had people within our business who were doing their damnedest to bring us down. They were stealing our funds. They were sabotaging our hard work. They were derailing what we were trying to achieve. But I also think part of that why is they weren't aligned with that company's objective. We all said the same things, many of us. Why are we doing things that have got nothing to do with on passive? Why are we going off in shoots to one direction? That's not on passive. That's not part of what our company objective is. So part of this relaunch, to have this new business, is to realign us with the company's objectives, is to get us back on track, is to stay with our core values of what we are trying to achieve. This is all part of that strategic planning that comes into the relaunch requirements. Brand identity, another one, often involves updating visual elements like logos, colors, fonts, etc. There may be a brand new name. I don't know. Chris doesn't know. One man knows, and that is Ashmi Farah. But I wouldn't be surprised if there is. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a brand new logo. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a brand new color scheme. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a brand new absolutely everything to do with it. Why? Because it is a brand new relaunch of what we are trying to achieve. Is the core values of on passive going to be the same within this new business? Absolutely. I firmly believe that those core values that we had, that we got off track a little bit about, are going to be there in this brand new business. It's about what we can all do to help mankind, humanity, make a difference, better value. All of these, all rolled into one, are what our key values are. I wouldn't be surprised in the future that we don't have our business definition of what we are all put into one very easy sentence. These are things that are really exciting for me. Why? Because I know that we have somebody at the helm who is going to make them happen. He is our Elon Musk. He is our crazy professor who is going out on the limb to make sure that he does things that nobody else is trying to achieve. You hear him talk about things that really make no sense whatsoever, but to him it makes perfect sense. He is trying to push those boundaries of what we do on the internet as far as business is concerned. Revolutionize, destable, disrupt what the norm is now today. This is what's going to make the difference. You are so lucky because you're going to be part of it. And if you are swayed by negativity and people who say it can't be done, don't you think that Elon Musk has had that all his life? Don't you think he's had that negativity barrier thrown at him all the time? What does he do? He turns round, he squares him in the face, and he says, "You watch me." Don't you think that our CEO is doing exactly the same? He is doing exactly the same as what Elon Musk did as far as building this new business. We also need to redefine the brand message and how it is positioned in the market. This is crucial for our success within the new business. We need to be absolutely upfront with our customers of what we are and who we are. Remember, we were talking earlier about how customers now actually pay more for something that has core values that align with themselves. We do it on a daily basis. I do it. I will buy my produce from the local farm shop because I know that it's fresh, organic, it's coming from a source I know. It aligns with what I want within my cooking. That's why I pay a little bit more. People do that all the time as far as buying products or services. They are quite happy to pay a little bit more if it aligns with their own personal beliefs. This is why now nowadays, having that message is so important in the marketplace. Customer experience is on a relaunch. You should aim to improve overall customer experiences. I really do believe that we've learned an awful lot of lessons from the on passive ecosystem, the customer services, etc. That this is a core element of what we are going to see in the new business, that customer experience. Targeted audience, understanding the target market and its involving needs is essential for successful relaunch. I think we've probably pretty much got that down pat anyway. We know what the customers are looking for. We are the facilitators of their needs. Remember what Ash said? If they want it, we'll build it. We know what customers are looking for as far as our products and services are concerned. We will make sure that we have the very best, groundbreaking, better value at a lower price point. This is going to align again with what our new business is all about. And the last one is a relaunch requires a comprehensive marketing and communicational plan to announce and promote these changes. I would not be surprised if we see that happening when we start moving. I would be surprised if we didn't have a big marketing campaign of some shape or that is going to really put our new name, if there is one, out there. This is also very important on a relaunch. So to summarize, the new part of where we're going to in the next phase, it's been done for a reason. It's been done because it's needed. It's been done because technology have moved on and we need to bring our products and services into and forward of where we were. It makes sense to do it. If you look at the theory behind it, it makes sense. But more importantly, I think and believe wholeheartedly that where we're going to go to is going to be better than where we were. Change is inevitable. We should embrace it and we should run with it.